In the heart of the American Southwest desert, the city of El Paso is once again at the center of the world's attention. Known for its expansive skies, warm, dry air, and a landscape that blends American and Mexican cultures, the city now vibrates with something far greater than just its usual atmosphere. It pulsates with the energy of music, with euphoria, and with the love of millions of fans. And right in the middle of it all stands the majestic and legendary Sun Bowl Stadium, once again witnessing an extraordinary moment that will be hard to forget. It was no ordinary day. Even from the morning, the atmosphere around the stadium was already different. Army fans from all over the world began arriving with enthusiasm. They brought light sticks, banners, and high hopes to feel close to their idols again. After the success of the first day Soundcheck, which had left a lasting impression, the second day felt like the continuation of an unfinished story. The afternoon sun in El Paso bathed the stadium in a warm, golden glow. There were no dazzling stage lights or spectacular visual effects like a main concert, but that was precisely where the magic lay. Soundcheck was a more honest, raw, and intimate space. This is where artists show their most authentic side, without the layers of big production that usually surround a show. And then, the long-awaited moment arrived. Cheers erupted as each member of BTS stepped onto the stage. But like a wave naturally converging on a single point, the entire stadium's attention slowly locked onto one figure, Jungkook. He walked casually, almost effortlessly, yet exuded a powerful charisma. Jungkook appeared in a darker jacket than the first day, paired with a simple outfit that only further accentuated his natural charm. His hair swayed gently in the El Paso breeze, and when he flashed a small smile at the crowd, the entire stadium erupted in hysteria. There was nothing over the top about his appearance, and that was precisely what made him so captivating. On stage, Jungkook held an iPhone, which he was using to record the moment. He pointed the camera at the army, capturing the sea of loving faces before him. There was something deeply personal about that simple act, as if he wanted to preserve the memory, not just for himself, but also to share it as a token of appreciation for his fans. As the music from Arirang began to play, the atmosphere shifted. What started out as a relaxed and chatty environment transitioned into a more focused and intense energy. This wasn't just a rehearsal. Jungkook never treats the stage half-heartedly. Every movement was sharp. Every note he struck was steady and full of emotion. Even during soundcheck, he sang as if he were at the climax of a concert. His voice filled the stadium, touching every corner and bringing with it an indescribable feeling, a mix of awe, emotion, and joy. This second day felt different. While the first day had seen him perform with a slightly more restrained aura, on this second day, Jungkook seemed much more relaxed. He laughed more often, joked with the other members, and occasionally made playful expressions that left fans unable to hold back their screams. There were moments when he paused, looked out at the audience, and waved. It was simple, but the impact was extraordinary. The entire stadium roared, as if the reaction came from one heart. Jungkook wasn't just performing. He was interacting. He was fully present. He walked to different sides of the stage, making sure no part of the stadium felt neglected. From a distance, even to those sitting in the top seats, his star aura was undeniable. It was a rare combination of humility and the highest level of professionalism. Between songs, the atmosphere grew warmer. The BTS members joked around with each other. Jungkook chatted with RM, laughed with Jimin, and occasionally did silly imitations that added to the lively atmosphere. It was a side rarely seen at official concerts, a human side, a genuine camaraderie. And that's where the beauty of Soundcheck lies. It's not just about the music, it's about connection. When one of their favorite songs started playing, something extraordinary happened. Without warning, the entire stadium began singing along. The voices of thousands of people merged, creating a harmony so powerful it vibrated in the air. Jungkook slowly lowered the microphone. He let ARMY take over, and on his face was an expression that couldn't be hidden. Pride. His eyes lit up. His smile widened. It was as if he were saying, without words, that this was why he kept standing on stage. not just to perform, but to share moments like this. Time passed quickly. What should have been a short sound check session was filled with so many precious moments. Laughter, singing, and small interactions all felt like snippets of memories that would live on forever. And then, slowly, the session drew to a close. But Jungkook wasn't done yet. He approached the edge of the stage again. He bowed lightly, a simple gesture, yet full of meaning. He thanked the fans with a sincerity that was felt all the way to the back row. And before he finally left the stage, he gave them one last look, a look that seemed to immortalize the moment. For the ARMY, it wasn't just a look, it was a memory. That day proved one thing undeniably, that Jungkook was indeed worthy of being called the Golden Maknae. Not just for his talent, but for his dedication, his sincerity, and the way he treated every moment, no matter how small, with all his heart. As the fans began to leave Sun Bowl Stadium, the atmosphere lingered. There was a warmth in the air that was hard to explain. Smiles that would never fade and memories that would live on, even after the stadium lights went down. Soundcheck Day 2 in El Paso wasn't just a practice session. It was an experience. It was a story. It was proof that music isn't just about sound. It's about connection, emotion, and moments that unite thousands of hearts into one. In the midst of it all stood Jungkook, not just performing, but truly touching the souls of everyone in attendance. Dusk began to fall across the El Paso sky, leaving shades of orange and purple that seemed to mirror the mood of the fans. They left with tired steps but full hearts, full of memories, gratitude, and a simple yet profound joy. Perhaps, years from now, when they look back on that day, it won't just be about the song they sang or the outfits they wore, but about how it felt to be there, about how Jungkook's voice sounded so close, and how a single wave of a hand could make the entire world stop for a moment. Soundcheck Day 2 at the Sun Bowl wasn't just another tour stop. It was an affirmation that behind all the glitz and glamour, behind all the global success, there's a Jungkook who remains the same, genuine, humble, and still loving every moment he shares with his fans. For ARMY, that's more than enough. Because in the end, they didn't just come to see their idol, they came to feel something real. And that day, under the slowly fading El Paso sky, they found it, a moment that will never truly end.